you know, everybody's helping out today. Look, they're cutting hay over there. Look at that. Reagan and the puppies. We got an absolute load of stuff dropped off here today. And that's what you do. You just let people know what you're doing. Yeah. She's hot. When she gets hot, she gets angry. She's sorting clothes. Those are all free, by the way. They were going to get donated. And a lot of them are new with tags. We are going to have some massive shows. Look at all those. Over on shopcommons.net, dibdib.com, antiquity.com. A couple of them will be done by the time you see this video, but some of them won't be. And we're going to be maybe a dibdibsports.com show too. But what won't be done? Let me see. We'll be selling Antiquity Friday. You'll see this the day before. And we'll be selling a bunch of stuff over there. And oh, hey, you know what? There's a massive giveaway raid train on Friday too. 2 hours of nothing but giveaways between the marketplaces. So come on over and join us. I thought I'd show you that at the very beginning of this video for a couple of reasons, and to tie into what I want to talk about today, and to promote a few things over there on the live selling stuff, because we've been buying like crazy. And you know, this is going to get tied in a little bit later in this video. But one other thing that I want to talk about is there's a commenter that keeps saying the same thing on different platforms, and they have one of those user ID 187648336 whatever. And I wanted to address that. They talked about me losing all credibility for a specific reason. And I want to talk about a question that I get from people every so often, and I've been getting it a lot today as well. Well, not today, a lot lately as well. Plus, we've got some sales today. Let's take a look. My wife has terrible allergies, y'all.
So this is what he's making me do.
Don't say I'm making you do. You need to go inside.
I'm going to. It's gonna be swollen up.
She's already swollen up. All right,
like
is
literally
this
the worst part of the process?
Yeah. Is this we're putting this all on comments?
I'm just sorting.
I'm just sorting. Oh my goodness. All right, shopcommons.net every Tuesday, y'all. Come and join us. All right, y'all. Just so you don't think I'm terrible. Sorry for the noise. I'm moving all this inside and having her do it inside, so she didn't have to worry about getting worse with the allergies. All right, I've got my wife inside, so she has terrible allergies when they cut that hay out there. So didn't want you to think I'm all terrible and I do all the easy stuff. I've been working all morning, just saying. Anyway, the first item, check this out. It's good timing on this one. This is a Sparky Bird bobblehead from Liberty University. I find these often, and I always pick them up when I do, but the girls softball team just knocked off #1 seed Texas A&M. So not a surprise that this one would sell at this time of year for sure. Whenever anything big happens with certain universities, keep an eye on sports, because you can kind of jack the price up a little bit sometimes, or at the very least get a sale on something that's been sitting around a while. I think I picked that one up for $3. It might have been $5 because I bought it off a buddy of mine in his little shop at the flea market. And this one sold for $25 plus shipping. All right, we're gonna get to the credibility issue. And it actually has something to do with shopcommons.net, which is why I put all that stuff on the video at the beginning. The NFL hat bin, I had turned it around. It says NFL hat on the other side. This is part of that Steelers buy that you may remember from the Commonwealth Picker channel. And this one, we sold most of it off on dibdib.com pretty quick. We're kind of being picky and choosy with hats lately. And this one sold for $21.95 plus shipping. Speaking of, that's kind of the point here with some of these. Like, I sold tons of hats the other day that were well worth listing on eBay. But we decided to take the quick turn because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bins of hats. And there's only so much space. So we've been lately very picky and choosy. I'd like to be able to list good stuff on both platforms. And that's part of this deal. So let's get into the conversation. Let me find the exact comment. All right, it took me a minute to find it, but I did. Zero credibility. And then, look, I've seen this on most of my platforms. So it's the same person, which is fine. But they're hiding their identity, which, whatever, I don't care. Zero credibility once you started trying to con noobs into buying bulk lots. So there you go. Listen, this was, I'll just be honest, from the get-go, I have always been very wary of people that are selling, you know, mystery boxes, wholesale stuff that's like, buy my stuff and whatever. It's like something, you know, if it's that good, you should list it yourself. That's the way I've always thought. However, I kind of want to, on this channel, I want to show, look, there's so many different ways to resell. It's like you could just pick which one that you think you'll enjoy the most. I know people that do all kinds of different reselling. This is the kind that I happen to enjoy the most, so this is what I do. I never envisioned when I started that I would be selling live, for one, which I do on multiple platforms that we have, the Dibdit 8. And I never really thought that would be an option for me, that I really wouldn't enjoy it. But I have enjoyed it, at least on our own platform. I'll be honest, I've said it before, I didn't really enjoy it over there on the black and yellow one. Which, whatever. Nothing against anybody that does. I think a lot of people are finding great success doing those live selling. It's just not me. I look at an item a lot of times, I always have, and be like, I can make $15 on that, or I could sell it for $4. Why would I sell it for $4? Well, the more and more things happen, and you know, unexpected things start to happen, and you start to see growth in certain areas, and you start to enjoy different things, I've expanded. But I do not want to ever have a business that is a massive warehouse, 15. It's just not me, just not me. But I have wanted to expand, and I have wanted to show people different opportunities on this channel. And one of those segments of the reselling community, if you will, I gotta find a pair of shoes, that I wanted to kind of delve into a little bit. Look at that, they're right up on top. Means I think these are them. I gotta look. These suckers are huge, y'all. These sold for pretty good money too. Are they the right ones? They are. Not too bad. $29.96 plus shipping. So when a lot of my buddies moved down to Florida, and you know, I've got 3 real good buddies down there and some more friends as well, you know, I went down there and I visited, and I saw a totally different side of reselling where it makes much sense. I used to watch people like tech and be like, what? It doesn't relate to where I live. But let me tell you, it does relate down there. There is so many people go there to retire. There's so much inventory. I'm like, you know, a hybrid model would be what I would do down there. I'm like, I'm just gonna do the hybrid model up here, because for years I've passed up on opportunities. You saw at the beginning of this video. Those were opportunities that I never sought out in the past, pre-YouTube and even after YouTube, because I wanted to be who I was and relate to the vast majority of hobbyist resellers out there trying to make $200, $300, $800 a month, $1,000, maybe relate to the full-timers who are out there trying to make, you know, $50,000 to $100,000 net profit in a year. And there's all types of resellers, and you can source. You could just be a thrifter. You could just go to the bins. You could be retail arbitrage. You could go to, you know, I don't know. You could do Walmart to eBay. You could do, you know, drop shipping, which I don't suggest, but you could. There's all kinds of different options that you can do to be a reseller, and that is growing exponentially over the last few years. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I don't really trust the wholesale stuff that pops up in my feed and the grade this and grade that. Maybe it's all legit. Maybe some of it's legit. Maybe none of it's legit. I don't know. But I'm like, I do know that I now know resellers who want to move inventory quickly so they can focus on their niche. They're buying in bulk and focusing on their niche. And I found some folks here locally who do that, where I used to think it's not even really possible around here. And so I started to try to incorporate that into shopcommons.net. And it's been very successful, way more successful than I thought it would be. There are sales on there all the time, static sales. We tried to do things at the beginning like, hey, you know, I want you to video I don't want any mystery. We've kind of moved away from mandatory videos on every item because some lots just don't need it. They're all the same item or whatever. And if you are not new to this channel, you remember at the very beginning, this was just part of what I wanted to do, is show people what you could do. And so we started to buy more in bulk. We did storage units. We did buyouts. I even did some consignment with some people to prove that this could work. We've expanded into things that I have not talked about on this channel yet, but I will because it's not quite ready for prime time, just to show different options. But I'm going to continue to do what I do because it's my favorite thing to do. At the beginning of Shop Commons, which is what this guy's comment was about, I was selling just static lots. We'd box it up, take pictures. Bubba's girlfriend would handle all that stuff for us, and we'd sell it and ship it off in bulk, and we'd make significantly less money, but it was in and out quickly, and it gave us time and space to still do what I love. Then the next step was, let's sell live lots over there. And that has been growing, and that has been fun. And we've been doing it. I know there's not a lot of people out there doing it live on Shop Commons, but there's about 6 or 8 who go on there regularly and do it, because that's even a different option than going live and selling things one-off for hours and hours. They could, like, for instance, we did those NASCAR die cast in the packages, and we sold them on Dibbed It Live. We sold some on eBay. We got the highest amount on eBay. We got the second highest amount on Dibbed It Lives. And then we got the third highest amount on Commons. But I sold 54 cars in minutes, as opposed to running an hour-and-a-half show. And when you're paying somebody to help you, like Jess, because she handles the live selling, it made sense. It made financial sense, where at the end of the day, I made as much or more doing it that way. Any good shoes?
There's a couple of them I'm gonna look at.
There's a great example right there. I don't like selling shoes. If you've seen this channel for a long time, you know that. Let me talk about that in a second. Bowling balls, right here. This one, I avoid bowling balls. However, when you get an undrilled bowling ball, I almost always pick them up if they're cheap enough. That one sold for good money. That one sold for $145 plus shipping. And you'll notice it seems to some people watching that I'm jumping around, right? I was selling, say, on Shop Commons, and I was selling static sales over there, and those were on the videos for quite a while. And then I didn't do that so much. Now we're selling live over there because of the time constraints. But in reality, it's not just because of the time constraints. It's to show 2 different groups of people the possibilities. There are people who simply do not want to and will not ever sell live, who can still tap into these different ways of reselling, and that's why I'm showing these different things. It has nothing to do, I didn't even address this comment here. It's the exact opposite of it. I feel like that part of the reselling business could be shady at times, and has been. I've seen it. I'm like, ooh, this is cringeworthy. And I felt like maybe if I put my name behind it and put certain things in place, that this could be a benefit for both buyer and seller, and it's proved to be true. It's a small segment. I said this from the beginning. There's not a lot of people who this is going to benefit. This is going to benefit people that have a hard time sourcing, maybe where they live, maybe their age, maybe, you know, they can't pick up these giant boxes, whatever it is. Maybe it's the little old lady from Pasadena who only wants to sell jewelry, and this gives them an extra place to source. Maybe it's the storage auction buyer who only sells 4 or 5 categories and wants everything else gone. Maybe it's the crafter. Maybe it's the upscaler. Maybe it's, you know, whatever. And you know what? There's a small, got 7,000 plus members over there. But out of those 7,000 plus members, there's just probably only 20 to 50 who are on there regularly buying and selling. And that's perfectly fine with me. And I get great messages all the time from folks. Now, when I go live over there, there are, which is going to lead to the next question I'm getting, there are quite a few more people. This is the RC Cola Cups again, you know, $22 plus shipping. Did this one for a viewer? I had 3 viewer sales, like back to back to back. I think this might have been one of them. This is $20.90, one off on a 5% offer plus shipping. That went to Anthony. So Anthony, thank you. He says he watches the channels all the time, so I appreciate that. But back to that shoe example. I don't like selling shoes, and I've limited myself to just 1, 2, 3 bins back there of shoes and boots, and I've gravitated towards the boots more often. And so I have sold lots of shoes on there where I'm making a little bit of money. and the person who's getting them is making more money. But here's the deal. It's transparent over there. If I'm on there selling live, you're seeing everything. I'm describing it. We don't just let anybody pop on and go live. I want to be able to be there to support them, to see what's going on. There's been issues, not necessarily on that site, although I think there's been one. And so that's why I wanted to do this with my own name behind it. I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. I knew it would lead to a lot of trouble, whether it's Dibdib.com, all those marketplaces over there, but especially Shop Commons, because it's got my name literally on it, sort of. And I wanted it to be transparent and to provide opportunity. It's not right for everybody. It just simply isn't. But it's right for a few people, and that's why we did it. Leads to the next question. The next question that I've been getting a few times lately, not a ton, but at least twice in the last few days, is why don't you put your live selling on your Commonwealth Flipper channel and your Commonwealth Picker channel like all the other resellers do? So I'm going to answer that in a second. I'll start with this. I wanted this channel to predominantly be about eBay selling because I know that the majority of people out there, that's what fits their lifestyle. And I want to appeal to and give, not advice. You know me, I don't give advice really. I got to find this bag. A lot of you are going to laugh at where I sold this after the video where I said I was getting off of the site. But then if you didn't see the next video about Bonanza, I said, I'm going to stay, but maybe you shouldn't. And we talked about the coins and the fact that I could basically sell for free, even though they've upped the little fees and stuff over there. And you know what? I sold 2 items in 2 days. Marlboro bag right here. This one sold for $34.60 plus shipping. So yes, for now, I'm back over there. But, you know, I've had this core belief on my channel that there are so many different ways to do this and be successful that I'm not very dogmatic about certain things compared to other resellers. Not that I don't have an opinion. It's just that my opinion a lot of times does apply just to me or to a certain segment of the reselling community. But there are so many of you out there who do things so different than me and you find great success. I really just kind of wanted to employ the strategies I used to use as a teacher, where I didn't feel it was my job as a teacher to say this is the way it is. Now there's always time to say this is the way it is. But on issues that aren't like that aren't as concrete, I felt like as a parent who has kids, I wouldn't want a teacher doing that to my kids. So I would always provide different viewpoints and different opportunities and let people look at them and discuss them logically and come to conclusions. And we would oftentimes come to the same conclusion because that's where logic takes you a lot of times. But sometimes we wouldn't, and that was okay. All right, y'all. So we've got those clothes sorted into donate. Jess takes them to the abused, what do they call, the battered women's shelter or whatever that is. This sold. We've had the internet out in here for 2 weeks and no solution yet, unfortunately. I know that seems crazy to some of y'all, but that's the truth. And we're trying, well, I don't want to go into it right now. Anyway, this sold, but since we didn't have the internet out here, Jess has been using it for music, so now she's mad at me. And it sold on Bonanza, of all places, just like the other one. 37 and change, plus shipping. Looks like a reseller war zone out there. But basically what I'm trying to say here is we're trying to provide, I don't know, a glimpse into different opportunities. And we may not do them forever, but the mainstay, I'm always going to do it. Well, I don't know about always, but daggone it, I plan on doing it for a long time. It's getting hot outside. The dogs are like, come on, let me in. So 2 Bonanza sales today. These puppies. You're going to lay down on that floor because it's cold, I bet you. So I thought to be, you know, consistent, I needed to show different options. Some of them I'm just not going to get into, but because it's really just not me. But man, I have so many. I got a message today about somebody, I think it was a golf store. I haven't followed up yet. Golf store buyout that's been sitting in a storage unit forever, and you know they want to sell it all off. And you know all these opportunities. Like I picked this house the other day because people now know what I do around here. And I've been putting the word out, the 3 private picks that I did, the different people located near me that do wholesale and consignment, all kinds of, there's so many opportunities out there. Like you could sell on Amazon, you could sell on Walmart's site, which is growing. You could sell on Bonanza, although I'm not exactly promoting it right now, that's for sure, because of the fees that I went over that in another video. You can sell on eBay, you can sell on whatnot, you can sell live, you can sell static, you can go to thrift stores, you can go to, you know, retail arbitrage places, you know, TJ Maxx, Ollie's, all the different, you could do all those things. You could drop ship. You could do, you know, 50 different ways. You could do wholesale. You could buy from wholesalers. You could not buy. You could go to garage sales. There's so many. It's like pick your path and you can make it work if you gain the knowledge. I mean, I know people that only sell t-shirts. I know people that sell t-shirts and hats only sell men's clothing. I know people who only sell women's clothing. And that's all they do. There are so many different lanes. And that leads to that question about why I don't go live on my Commonwealth Picker channel, Commonwealth Flipper channel. It's actually pretty simple. And I probably will. We've gone live before on Picker when we did a St. Jude charity auction. I want this to be a hub for the majority of resellers. And the majority of resellers at least sell some on eBay. And most resellers sell everything on eBay and only eBay. And that's what I want this channel to be about. Now, I'm going to talk about live selling. I'm going to talk about the ups and downs and the success, because there might be a tiny segment of the people who watch this channel who want to know that stuff. They might want to know about wholesale. They might want to know about different stuff. So I feel like I need to have some knowledge. If I'm going to talk about the wonderful life I live because of eBay and how I love it and how I love to sell this stuff, then I need to at least be able to compare it to other things. And so I'm all over the place, but the mainstay, at least on these channels, is going to be eBay. Having said that, I never told you what this shirt sold for. It's a pretty cool little single stitch Dale shirt, made in the USA. Got the sweet little sports image tag on it. Pretty good condition too. It did sell on discount though, $26.21. And it did sell to a viewer. And it went to Josh. He says, "This is a gift for a friend. I'll let him know it's coming. But if you can include a note, that would be great." Now that I'm looking at this and looking at the message, I don't think that this is a viewer sale. I think this person bought this for somebody. And when I was reading it, I was looking at it and I'm like, cannot thank you enough for all the hard work and whatever. I'm like, okay, this is a viewer sale. Incredible talent you poured into this one. I know it wasn't always easy, but I like that. Our fans come to see door handle to door handle, fender to fender, beating and banging, pushing and shoving. Grateful for you, Josh. So I don't think this is even a viewer. They just are buying it to send to somebody who's helping them out in some way. So that's cool. So when people watch these videos and watch people on YouTube and Instagram and all these different things, there's kind of like a tacit endorsement of different things just by showing things. And that's part of the reason I don't want it, because if people see me, that's what they see all the time on my Flipper channel is going live, then they think that's what this person does. They're a live seller and I'm not a live seller. I don't want to watch them. But that's not what I do all the time. It's a part of what I do. It's actually a growing part of what I do. But eBay is also a growing part of what I do, which I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the two can go hand in hand. Not for everybody, but they can go hand in hand. And for me, right now we're growing eBay, and this will be our best eBay year ever. And this will be our best live selling year ever. And I think that that goal of $250,000 is still well within reach. But that $250,000 would not be possible without, obviously, a little extra help from Jess and my family, of course. And the other thing it wouldn't be possible without is the fact that we have we've added to our sourcing methods. These are things that I've always known, I just have chosen not to do because I don't want to, you know, be a $2 million reseller and have 10 employees. I just don't want to do it. It's not worth the hassle and the stress to me to do it that way. Having one who is a friend, who comes and goes as they please and helps us more when we need it and less when we don't, is amazing. I hope it's amazing for her too. And these Pyrex dishes. So I thought there was 3 viewer sales, but there's not. There's just 2, I think. What was the other one? I can't remember. What was the other one? Oh, it was these. That one And these are to a viewer. I thought that one was, but it's not. These are Pyrex dishes you have seen in here forever and somehow weren't listed. And I don't know if I dropped the ball on them or not, but these sold to Cheryl. And Cheryl is one of our favorite viewers. She made us that little pillow back there. And let's see here. Hi, Kevin. I've been waiting for these. I've seen them sitting in the background of your videos. Thanks again for all the great content, Cheryl. Cheryl, we appreciate you as always. I just had a load of boxes show up. That used to be the chicken coop. It's now the empty box bin. And I have a load literally coming today of wholesale stuff, that local wholesale stuff that is going to be sold off on dibdit.com and dibdit threads. But see, I'm not putting in much labor into this. A little bit here and there, and of course I handle the live shows, but as I see my wife working back there, I guess we're putting in some labor. Look at her looking at me. And really, we're making tighter margins. Of course, the buying price is low because we're buying massive quantities, and then we're selling it off, and we're selling it for less than eBay. But it's an add-on to my business, and it allows me the time to still do the traditional garage sale sourcing that I love and list that stuff on eBay and make a really good margin on that money. I guess what I'm saying in this video that's going all over the place is I want this channel, the Flipper channel, I love it, and the Picker channel to some degree, but this channel to be a place where we can talk about ideas, changes, shifts, different ways of doing things without getting so dogmatic, because there are so many different ways. If you have a way of reselling that you're in love with that other people think is dumb, you don't need to listen to them. Like, for instance, selling hats for $11.67. There's a lot of people out there who will tell you you are stupid for doing it. $11.96. They'll probably still tell you you're stupid for doing that. I don't really care. I'm going to keep doing it. $1 into 12 plus shipping. I love hats. How about this one for dumb? I love parting out board games. I don't do near as much of it as I used to, but I still throw a few examples on here from time to time. And we part out the Lord of the Rings Risk game. You can do the little figures and put those in a lot, and then you can sell the ring off. And if you can buy that game for $1 at a yard sale, you can make like 30 bucks if you part everything out. This sold for $10, just the ring, $10.95 plus shipping. You came in here to ask me when I was going to mow the grass?
Yeah, because I feel like you should do one manly thing around the house.
Hey, come in here for a minute. What did you do yesterday with Reagan?
I installed a microwave.
She installed the microwave. A microwave, over the oven microwave. She did it, her and Reagan did it by themselves.
We took the old one out and installed it, and I saved you, what, $200, so I should go shopping today.
Saved me $200, saved us $200.
Which I should go spend immediately.
Listen, I told her, I was like, baby, I don't have much time here. Just pay somebody to do it. She's like, okay, fine, don't do it. And then she went and did it herself, just to make me feel bad.
$150 for installation, and then $50 just for them to take it away. That's ridiculous. Yeah,
but now I get back home from Turner's Tournament, and it's all done, and I look dumb, because you did it all.
You couldn't have done it. There's no way. I also got injured, so I should get workers' comp.
Get out of here. And the next one, I can't tell you how many times I've had people comment on a video like, why are you wasting your time on this stuff? Because it only sold for $5.24. It's not worth your time. And, you know, a lot of times I would say you're absolutely right. However, not in this case. We had over 100 of these. We're down to like 62 of them left, and we had thousands of these in general. We'll make a ton of money. $5 grand probably off of this. Shout out Ivan from way back at the 127 sale a few years back. They were awesome. He hooked us up with that deal. And these are the Wig Earrings. And like I said, $5.24 plus shipping. But it's one listing for over 100 different items. So, you know, you make $400 on that over time with one listing. And all it takes is, you know, we slide that in a little envelope and ship it out. It takes literally 1 minute to ship. You know, it's like the dollar store argument, you know, dollar store versus, I don't know, a Gucci shop where they might sell 3 things in a Gucci shop and bring in 5, 6, 8, 10 grand a day, where a dollar store might sell $2,000, $2, $5 items in a day. It's all relative. How much money do you make for the time you put into it, and do you like it? All right, we decided we'd get everybody in here today, even Pepper. No boots, and Pepper, you got to keep an eye on Pepper. She can't get up here anymore. I moved everything. Well, she can get up through the back, but then she can't get down, which is just trouble. So, at any rate, Turner's got a joke. What do you got?
What does a baseball player do when he loses his eyesight?
What does a baseball player do when he loses his eyesight? I don't know what.
Becomes an umpire.
Did you have a good umpire yesterday?
No.
The home plate umpire wasn't that bad.
The home plate one wasn't that bad.
The other guy, some kid hit a home run on the other team, and they called it a ground rule double. It was clearly a home run. But anyway, all right, what do you got, Ray?
Got 2
Brian?
Brian.
Okay.
Got 2 Commonwealth Picker stickers.
All right, and that was on dibdit.com, not commonwealthpicker.com, but that's okay. Thank you.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at commonwealthpicker.com.
We sold some perfume back here. And I can't remember what this one is called, to be honest with you. La Vie Este Bella and Rose Perfume, Lancome. $26.21 plus shipping. I bought some Super Nintendo stuff the other day, and I've been selling a lot of that stuff off on live, untested. Even the consoles, it just streamlines it. You know, when you put a ton of time into stuff, this is the other part of it. You know, there are people who are niched down, who they only want to buy video game stuff. And so that's kind of that wholesale deal, right? You know, the whole shopcommons.net thing. There's people you can go over there and just sell massive quantities untested in giant boxes, either live or whatever. And this is on Dibdit too. People go on there and sell live, and resellers are buying them to resell because there's a little margin. And some sellers sell on eBay. Some people sell on Amazon where you get more money. Some people have their own shops. There's just so many different ways to do it. And you just got to carve out your margins and figure out where you fit into this puzzle. At any rate, I have fit into the video game puzzle in a few different ways. I still sell some over here from time to time. But I sell, this whole thing used to be video games, if you remember. Now we're down to just a couple little things. But this was in that little lot, and I'm like, huh. I paid like $25 for the whole lot, and I was like, I'll just sell this in one game, and the rest will sell off live. And because this is super easy, right? 15 bucks, and they sell very quickly. So I figured I'd do that. $14.95 for the N64 Rumble Pack plus shipping. By the way, if you ever sell bobbleheads, I have a short about this on this channel in the how-to section, I think. You've always got to give them a bubble wrap scarf, because when they bobble, it'll chip off the bottom of that, and if you don't put that, it'll press down and you might get a break in it. But I always give them a nice bubble wrap scarf and then put a rubber band around it and steady that head, because that's where you're going to see the most damage when you ship a bobblehead. All right, you remember the video where we talked about debt not too long ago, and I said I bought a trailer, but I bought that trailer, and that trailer was for this purpose. And I have a buddy of mine who uses it with me, and we share it, and it's worked out pretty well so far. And he's actually bringing a load of stuff to me right now, so I got to get going. I also got to get Turner to his baseball game. I know this video was all over the place. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy this channel. I hope you enjoyed the explanation of why you see different things. And yeah, I do promote stuff. And I promote it because my name is on it, and I really believe it's what's good and right for certain sellers and for certain buyers. And it's been good for me. And so thank y'all for joining us over there on the Dibdit 8. Dibdit.com. Join all 8 of them, y'all. This Friday, giveaways for 2 straight hours. I'm giving away tons of Pokemon card packs, especially in DibditCards.com. And we'll give away some on Dibdit as well and other places. But there are like, I don't know, I think 24 different 5-minute segments of giveaways with tons of resellers. Not just YouTubers and stuff like that. We've mixed in some of our popular sellers over there as well. It's going to be a fun day. Join all 8 marketplaces. That way you can move around quickly, but it'll be a raid train that'll move you around through the marketplaces, and you can get a tour of all of them. Should be fun, and hopefully you can win something. Come check us out. It'll be a good day. Hey, do me a favor for a future video, if you would, real quick, down in the comments. Tell me if you are a niche down seller. What is your niche? If you only sell 1, 2, 3 different types of things, I want to know what it is down in the comments, if you're willing to share that, of course. So put that down in the comments below. Thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you haven't subscribed over to the Commonwealth Picker channel, do that as well. We also have a small channel. If you do want to watch the lives are on the Garage Sale Nation channel on YouTube. It's also on my Facebook page. By the way, the reason I do that is because the Facebook audience, they're not all resellers. A smaller percentage than you'll see over here on YouTube. So I marketed over there because we want to bring not just resellers to these live platforms. We want to bring collectors and people who want to buy for themselves. It's really working quite well in Tiquity.com and polishandbrush.com, where not everybody over there is a reseller. A lot of people are buying for decor. A lot of people own Airbnbs and they're going to Tiquity to buy fairly cheap compared to even some of these antique stores and stuff. And they're buying over there to decorate. I've heard from them, their Airbnbs that they have. I think that's kind of cool. So anyway, thank y'all for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next.